Good morning. It is day 17 and I'm home and just exhausted. Yesterday wore me out, but I'm working on my August HRCYED update video, just going through that and editing it. I need to be reading, but I haven't been reading. I've been watching YouTube. I've just been in the mood to just lay and lounge and watch. But of course I do want to continue on with All the Birds in the Sky. So I do have plans to read that today. I started working on a grocery list because we cannot go much longer without food in this house. And what else? Just need to edit videos, and it's Sunday, so it's also a day of rest. So I'm not going to do too much, and I just feel a little wrecked. My congestion has ratcheted up, and probably because of all the dust and stuff yesterday, so I might take a Zyrtec today because I feel like this might just be allergies that are acting up as opposed to a continuation of that awful virus that I had. It's not going to be the most exciting of days as far as vlogs go, but it's still going to be a day of getting things accomplished, which I need to do, and I feel good and excited about getting my HRCYED August update done. I can't wait to get this one finished and put up. And then I've got to combine my days 15 and 16 because last night when I got home from the Ren Fair, I did not feel like editing until late in the evening, oddly enough. So I got to do 2 days in one. Good morning. It's day 18. Ooh. And I am off to the gym because we're getting back. Am I ready? No. But we're going to be doing a 10K at the end of September, so I got to be ready for that. Oh yeah, work that muscle. Oh, she's so strong. Something tells me she was over-exaggerating. Turned out more like a pudding than an actual muffin, but it's done and it's got a lot of protein in it. Well, we went to the gym this morning, Jordan and I. We did some good walking, a little bit of running, just a little bit, just to get our muscles started, and then a lot of stretching because we needed a stretch. Both of us were so stiff. And then I came home and I was like, I want to make some like protein healthy breakfast things. And I looked up on Pinterest and I found that recipe for the pumpkin, although I used yams because that's all I had, pumpkin muffins. And the texture was a little custardy almost. They turned out fine. They tasted good. They only asked for a little bit of maple syrup, but I feel like in those kind of breakfast muffins, you don't really need that much sugar. I love cottage cheese, so I'm glad it added cottage cheese to it. You know, I used to hate cottage cheese, and as I've gotten older, my palate, I don't remember what I was talking about, but I have been working on All the Birds in the Sky since yesterday. Oh yeah, yesterday. I didn't end up getting very much footage of anything yesterday. I was busy doing a lot of video editing, coming close to finishing my HRCYED updates. I was working on that for quite a bit yesterday. So I was also just enjoying reading this, and I feel like I've been on a bit of a roller coaster as far as how much I've enjoyed versus not enjoyed this book. You know, there were times when the subject matter in the beginning when they were kids was hard to read. So like there was a little bit of downward with that. But then when they became adults, I was really enjoying the sections about them being adults. And then they had this, and then they had this. And then I feel like there were times when the two of them were exploring their relationship that I was really enjoying, but then something happened after that, and I was like, ugh. There's been a lot of ups and downs with this book, and I really like the writing, so I definitely will be reading more from Charlie Jane Anders, but I don't necessarily know how much I loved what I've been reading, and so I continue on, and I will finish this today, because I'm very close to being done, but last night I just couldn't stay up any longer because I knew I had to get up early for the gym, and I do want to finish this. It's been such a strange experience, but maybe it's because we've had all types of emotions with these characters, good, bad, ugly, and we've seen good, bad, ugly parts of all these characters too. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, it's all about the characters. There's big things happening in the storyline of this book. Oops, that looks good. But it doesn't matter because this book really is just about the characters. So I'm going to read for a little bit more before I go to meet my friend for coffee and maybe get this done, but I also got to get ready to go meet her. Oh yeah, so those muffins were good. They were good. I just had a good time coming home and making some muffins this morning. My motivation isn't always that great, but it felt good. And I need to be doing more of that. I need to be doing more of creating my own food as opposed to just taking the easy way out. But I do need to go grocery shopping, so I did put together a whole grocery list, and I feel good that I'm going to get there. So after I finish having coffee with my friend Christina, I'm going to go to Trader Joe's.
Where you going with that? Get back here. There you go. You made it smaller. Don't break it again. It'll get too small. No!
Okay, so I'm home. I had a great day. I'm so tired, actually, because I went to the gym this morning, and then I was busy. What was I doing? I was doing stuff this morning. And then I went to meet my friend for coffee, and we chatted for like 3 hours. And then after that, I went grocery shopping. Finally went grocery shopping! So I definitely need to make sure I cook up the meals that I've bought ingredients for. And yeah, I've been having a bit of a stomach ache all day, so that's kind of a bummer. But I came home and I was ready to finish up All the Birds in the Sky, and I did. I completely finished it. I was starting to fall asleep a little bit, and not the book's fault. I was like at the end of the book, but I'm just so tired. Like, I'm so tired. I didn't get a ton of sleep last night because I've been going to bed late, and then this morning because we went to the gym so early I had to get up at 5:15. I'm not used to getting up that early anymore, so it was really painful, and I think because of that I'm like just ready to nod off. But let's talk about this because I finally finished All the Birds in the Sky, and this is not a very long book. It's 340 14 pages, so it really shouldn't have taken me as long as it did. But when I picked this up, this was definitely at a time when I was busy because I was doing the fair stuff and I was basically going to the fair most days that I picked this up. And this isn't as easy and quick of a read as, say, the thriller was, you know, The Silent Patient. This had a lot more to it. It had a lot more to it. There was so much creativity in this. There are so many ideas in this. And I really did struggle with how I felt about the actual story itself. And it wasn't a big deal because I was very interested in the characters, but I think ultimately I'm going to give this one 3.75 stars. Now, to me, 3.75 stars is actually a good rating. It's a good rating, and I know that I will read more from this author because I'm fascinated by Charlie Jane Anders' work, and I'm fascinated by her brain. I also like her humor quite a bit, and I can't wait to read more from this author. I just think that this is the kind of author where this first book is something that I bet I would enjoy even more on a reread. But thinking about this book, I can see myself warming up to this author more and more as I get into it, and understanding her humor more as I read more of her books, understanding the social commentary quite a bit more as I read more of these books. I feel like this is an author that could easily grow on me. And so that's kind of exciting because I do plan on reading more from this author, and I'm hoping that that's true. This is very unique sci-fi, fantasy, magical realism. I highly feel like this is a magical realism book, and I will fight anybody who wants to fight me about it. It is listed as magical realism, but like one of the reviews was saying, like, it's hard to even tell what kind of genre this book is because it's so many things. Because I would argue this is actually a romance. This very much has the arc of a romance, and it's not plot focused. This is focused on the relationship of these two people. That is the most important aspect of this book. And so I would argue this is a romance. It's fantasy, it's sci-fi, it's magical realism. It is unique. It's really, really unique, and this is not going to be for everyone, but I really found it intriguing and enjoyable. I enjoyed reading this book. I had a good time with it. There were definitely parts that were hard for me to read. I felt like this was really well paced, so I couldn't complain about the pace, but my enjoyment levels, you know, did a little bit of this here and there, but it was mostly because certain aspects of this were more exciting and interesting to me than others. I enjoyed so much more when Lawrence and Patricia were together, like seeing their dynamic together, going through all the scenes that they were together. I enjoyed so much more when they were together versus when they were apart. And that makes sense if this is a romance, because what matters so much is this relationship that's building between the two of them. And if I see this author, especially at a used bookstore, I will definitely pick up more books from this author. I love this cover. This book is just so pretty. I love all the swallows on this book. This is actually one where I could see myself rereading it and maybe even getting more out of it on a reread. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this because it's just so pretty. So this book's gonna work for magical realism for TBR Trail. So I'm gonna use that for the points for that. And then for HRCYED, this will work for a standalone book for my series Staircase. And it's also gonna work for transgender for the queer alphabet, the even bigger queer alphabet, I think is what it's called. There are no characters in this that are transgender, but the author is transgender. So that still works for that particular prompt. Very happy that I got a chance to finally read from this author and finally read this book off my shelf. It's taken me a while. It's sat there for a long time. So luckily, One Week, One Shelf brought it to the forefront, because otherwise I don't know when I would have picked this book up, because I've had other opportunities and it just keeps getting pushed aside. Okay, so I need this one. Strawberry Shortcake Murder by Joanne Fluke. Okay, so despite the fact that yes, I should be reading Part of Your World and or Galileo's Daughter, I should be working on those. I do kind of want to read another book off the shelf, since I got done so quickly with The Silent Patient, one of the mystery thrillers off the shelves, and then I finished my book from last week so quickly. I kind of want to see if I can get another book done off my shelf, the shelf from the week 3. And I think that I could if I pick a nice easy one. And I have another reason for picking this. This is the second book in the Hannah Swenson series. This is a cozy mystery series, a very well-known cozy mystery series. The first book is called The Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder, and I read that, and I read the 1.5 book Candy for Christmas. Now this series has a ton of books in it. How many does it have? It's got 30 books so far, and I think she's still putting out more. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she's still putting out more. When did this one come out? Pumpkin Chiffon Pie Murder. Oh, its expected publication is January 2nd, 2079. And her 29th book came out in 2023. So she hasn't put anything out since 2023, but there is one expected, supposed to publish in 2079. That doesn't make any sense. I think that's a mistake. Anyways, this series has a ton of books in it. And one thing that I am terrible at is continuing on with my series and making good progress in my series. And because one prompt in the series staircase is 4 or more books in a series, I could start a series that has 4 books in it or more in it and just read 4 books from that series. However, Stephanie Cordy said that you could read 4 books in an ongoing series that you're working in. And I'd rather do that because then I can continue on in a series that I'm currently already working on. I don't have to add another series to my many series, 80 plus, 90 plus series that I'm currently working through, even though I will be adding more series, obviously, because I constantly start new series. But in this instance, I can use this 4 or more books for my series staircase to get moving on one of the series that I haven't been able to make any progress on in a while. Because I think when I read the 1.5 book, it was a Christmas book, Candy for Christmas, and I probably read it for Christmas time for one of my advent calendar challenges. So I want to move on. I want to move forward. And I enjoyed the first one well enough. Like, it wasn't amazing, but I enjoyed it well enough that I'm like, this is fun. These are nice, easy, quick reads. They're like Harlequin romances of the mystery world, you know? They're just a good time. They don't take a lot of brain power. It depends on if you like the main character or not. I think I like Hannah Swenson well enough that I want to continue on with this series, at least at the point of finishing the first book and the 1.5 book. I was like, yeah, I want to continue this series. For TBR Trail, the activity prompt is that we create a dessert that is book inspired. And I already have my naughty root beer float, but this is a drink, and I could, while I'm reading this, find a recipe in here of a dessert that I just really feel like making, and then use that, and I could make that this week. So I have 2 options now. I can either make the root beer float sometime this week, or I could make something from the Strawberry Shortcake Murder. It also works for HRCYED because one of the prompts for the readathon challenge, I did a readathon challenge. I ended up doing seasonathon for that, and one of the prompts we had was to do a picnic, to go on a picnic, and for that the prompt was to read a book with a recipe, and this has recipes in it, so I could use it for that prompt. It will also work for series staircase, since this month of August I'm trying to fulfill as many of the series staircase books. Will it work for any of my other TBR Trail prompts? I don't think so, but let me double check. It's not a Bookish Challenge book. It could be the free pick book if I finish this before I finish Part of Your World. It doesn't work for Family History Month. This is some way related to my own family. None of my families are bakers, because she's a baker.
You're a baker.
I mean, I went to culinary school, but it's got to be family history, like something within the history. When the president of Heartland Flour chooses Cozy Lake Eden, Minnesota, as a spot for their first annual dessert bake-off, Hannah is thrilled to serve as the head judge. But when a fellow judge is found dead, face down in her celebrated strawberry shortcake, maybe I'll make a strawberry shortcake, Lake Eden's sweet ride to fame turns very sour indeed. Oh, this is the coach. This is the coach. He's not a good coach. I think it's probably good that he's dead. That sounds terrible. I take that back. I take that back. He's not a good person, though. So if this is the coach that I read about in the first book, he's not a nice person. And that's not spoiling the first book. It's just a side story sort of thing. Is it? I don't think it's spoiling the first book. She's snooping into his life and trying to find out about him. So I don't have any coaches in my family. I don't have any dessert. My grandma was a baker. My grandma loved baking, but she didn't do it as a career. I think that this is a stretch to say that this would be for the Family History Month prompt. So it would have to be the free pick if I get this one done before Part of Your World. So we'll see. This may end up being my free pick for TBR Trail. I am going to read this because I'm just kind of in the mood. I want to say that I'm in the mood. I love romance, and I'm always in the mood for romance, but I'm actually just kind of wanting to, I kind of want to pick this up. I kind of want to pick up something really easy and something off that shelf, because it's kind of fun to be able to read a second book from my 1 week, 1 shelf. And I probably could get this done in time. I probably could. How many days do I have left? So I have 4 days left of this week. That's pretty darn good. Is that really what I have? 4 days left. Yeah, today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That would be the end of this week. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I did good. Look at me go. Okay, so hopefully I'll get this one done really, really quickly, and then I can work on these two. Okay, so I finished working on my HRCYED August updates. I'm not actually going to do my next vlog tomorrow, especially because I think for day 17, I only got like one clip in for that whole day. So I'm going to put my HRCYED video up tomorrow morning, and then I'll combine day 17 and day 18 into a vlog that'll go the next day. I wanted to tell you a little bit about this book because I am 52 pages through. And it's moving at a very quick pace, obviously, because it's a mass market paperback, which read fast anyways. And I've read from this author before, so it's a very easy read. And the funny thing about it is the way it's set up, the way this book, the second book, is set up, is very similar to the way the first book is set up. So I almost am like, did she write exactly the way she wrote the first book? But it's not, because it's a completely different plot. I feel like I've read the beginning of this before, and maybe I haven't. I did read another cozy mystery book about a competition from, what is that name of the author? I liked the series, but the second book is a competition book like this, and it just, for some reason, the beginning of that one feels exactly the same as the beginning of this one. Or it doesn't, and I've already read the beginning of this before. I don't think I've read the whole thing before, but like either the beginning of this one is way too similar to that other cozy mystery, and this one would have come first, so then that person who, what is her name? Misha Pop? Is it Misha Pop? It's that woman who makes pies to take care of, to kill off awful men. Let me look it up. Hold on one second. Look at me. It is A Good Day to Pie by Misha Pop. I was right. So that's the second book in the series, and it is all about a competition. And for some reason, I feel like it reads either just like the beginning of this book, or it reminds me of this book, and I actually have read the beginning of this book before, because I feel like I've read the beginning of this book before. Like, it's exactly the same. This came out when I graduated from high school. I don't know. Either way, this starts out very much as the premise on the back says. There is this competition that's happening for this little town. It's a very important competition, so basically everybody's involved. And Hannah owns a bake shop, so she's acting as one of the judges. Well, one of the other judges, who's part of the council, the city council member, gets ill and has to bow out. So the coach gets randomly placed in there as the alternate judge. He's murdered. He's not a very good husband, let's put it that way, and this is known by the cops and, of course, by Hannah. And so, first things first, you'd implicate the wife, especially if a husband is abusive. But Hannah, of course, this is her friend, and she doesn't believe that she killed him, so she's going to try and help solve the mystery. So that's the basic premise, and it's doing exactly what I expect from this book. Like, I don't expect the best writing. I don't know if I expect the best writing from any cozy mysteries. I really like the writing from Misha Pop, actually, so those ones impressed me a bit, but a lot of cozy mysteries, I haven't read so many, but I feel like a lot of cozy mystery writers put out so many cozy mystery books, and they just start these series, and there's a lot of these random cozy mystery series that are cute, and they're fun, and they have really cool premises, but I don't know how strong the writing is for all these series. And it feels like there is something very formulaic about cozy mysteries. And that being said, I think that's what makes them enjoyable in a lot of ways, because you're not putting a lot of mental pressure in the reading process when it comes to these. These are meant to be just fun, quick reads, and they give you a cozy vibe because of the setting, because of the fun, kitschy, like this one is set surrounding a bakery because our main character is a baker, and it has her recipes in it. Other cozy mysteries are surrounding a yarn shop or somebody who knits, or they surround board games, or they surround different things like that. And it's just meant to be fun and cozy. So that's kind of what I think of when I think of cozy mysteries. I'm not going into it looking for an incredible literary piece. I'm going into it looking for a mystery and a fun time and a vibe. Definitely a vibe. And so this one gives vibes. It gives these vibes of this woman who's just enjoying her life as a baker. She has a very successful business in this little town that it's surprising how successful it is, considering that it's like a tourist town, and in the off season there's hardly any tourists there, and there's hardly any businesses open and all that stuff. But yeah, no, she's still doing fine. And she's not necessarily the most attractive woman, but she's got 2 men interested in her, but she doesn't really want to get married, even though her mom's pressuring her to get married, because, you know, she's got an important career. And apparently she is quite the detective, because she butts her nose into every single crime that happens in this little town, and she helps solve these mysteries. So, I mean, it's cute and it's fun, but it's not high stakes. And I am a little surprised how familiar it feels, which makes me think, like, is this too similar to that one cozy mystery I read already? Or did I already read this book? I didn't mark anywhere that I read it, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm waiting for my video to get closer to being downloaded, because sometimes if I go to sleep when it still has a lot of time left to upload, my computer will time out. And I even put it so that it doesn't time out until 4 hours, but it doesn't matter because my computer's old, it's tired, it has issues. So sometimes it's just like, oh, you know, I'm gonna turn myself off. And I'm trying to upload a video, and then I'll wake up in the morning and I'll see that it's not up, and I'll be like, what happened? That's what happens when you have a geriatric computer. It's a challenge. It's not even that old, actually. It's just well loved, well used. That's probably what it is. Well used. It has spent a lot of time being used. I think I'm getting tired and getting a little goofy, so I'm going to read a little bit more of this tonight. I'll give you an update as to where I am tomorrow, and hopefully I'm already making good progress. Hopefully I continue to make some pretty good progress. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe so you can see what happens on day 19. I think tomorrow's day 19. And how I do with my cozy mystery. Second book on my 3rd week shelf. That's pretty exciting stuff, because I only did one from both the 1st week and the 2nd week. So I'm amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Goodbye.